Cowboys coming off a shutout victory of the Giants. We're talking about where it goes from here. Where does it go from here for the Jets, though, now? And without Aaron Rodgers, what is their best-case scenario? What's their goal for the year now?
Basically, I think to be kind of team that's competing for a playoff spot. I mean, they have a great defense, outstanding. I think a lot of people saw that on Monday Night Football. Quentin Williams is, all-world, and what he's able to do. He registered 12 sacks last year. Sauce Gardner, even though for him, he said he had a tough night against Stephon Diggs, he's still one of the best corners in football. And, I definitely think C.J. Mosley is also a very talented linebacker. But, I think it's going to be tough to score points, especially when you have a guy like Zach Wilson who can be up and down. And I think, they kind of showed this, reared his head against the Bills on Monday night, too. It just happened to be 4 turnovers by Josh Allen really bailed out the Jets.
Yeah, Antwan, what's the locker room situation? I'm sure everybody's saying the right things, but, man, you guys do a great job of covering that team. Are some of your people off the record, are they concerned about the fact of Zach Wilson having to come back out and play quarterback again?
You would think they might be, especially considering what happened last year, and people lost confidence in Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't know if people dare remember, but, after Zach was benched after the loss to the Patriots, Mike White became the starter, and they ended up having these Mike S. and White T-shirts, printed out, and, they really were supporters of Mike White, and even though Zach Wilson apologized for his actions and lack of accountability, he lost the team. But he's been really, doing his part of trying to, rehash his brand. And I think the teammates are really seeing all the work that he's done inside and outside of the locker room, trying to gain back their trust. And so far, at least externally, just talking to players on and off the record, they seem like they have Zach Wilson's back. We'll see if that's going to be the case for the rest of the year. But at least right now, they're saying all the right things.
What's the state of the Jets' offensive line? I noticed Dwayne Brown, Mekhi Becton both on the injury report. I mean, certainly the Cowboys had a field day against the Giants and their patchwork offensive line a week ago.
I mean, it's still a work in progress. We talk about an offensive line that really didn't get a lot of time together in preseason and training camp. Dwayne Brown was on the PUP list for a better part of training camp, and then Mekhi Becton, they were trying to break him along slowly, and, he ended up winning the right tackle job. So, and of course, he hasn't played a lot of football in the last couple of years, but it's still a work in progress, just trying to get these guys all on the same page and get chemistry going. Lincoln Thomason's still struggling. He ended up having a really difficult year in 2022. If you look at the PFF grades and also just the film of the game on Monday night against the Bills, he did not have a particularly good night. Elijah Vera Tucker is their best offensive lineman. He's all world, but even if you have one good offensive lineman, if you have 3 or 4 that are mediocre to average, there, that's really going to stand out, especially against a team with the Cowboys that has the pass rush in the front 7 that they do. We saw that against the Giants where, registered 7 sacks, and I think they're going to try to get after Zach Wilson once again on Sunday.
He's Jets reporter Antwan Staley, New York Daily News, with us here on The Fan. Jets fans are talking trash on Twitter. I don't have a good barometer for how they all feel, but there's a couple noisy ones, Antwan. I just want to know from you, do any credible media members or sources on your end think the Jets have a good chance to get a win here?
Not that I know of. No. If they exist, I hadn't talked to them. I mean, to be honest with you, I've asked, a lot of the people that I work with who making the trip, and I think everybody's picking the Cowboys. This is because, I think, what they were able to do to the Giants, not necessarily beat the Giants, but just demolished them in the manner that they did. And the game wasn't even, it was 40-0, but it easily could have been, 55, 60 points scored on the Giants offense there and defense there last week. So, I think it's going to be a struggle just for the Jets to be able to score points. I like the Jets defense. I think that's going to keep them in the game for a little bit. But, again, as you guys know, it takes points to win in the NFL. And I think the Jets are going to have a hard time, generating some offense against this stout Cowboys defense.
But, Antwan, I mean, okay, even with Breece Hall and, and that crew, running the football, to me, that seems like the best path. If the Jets are going to win this game, it's going to be about trying to create some turnovers, run the football, and play your ass off on defense.
Basically, yes. That's I wrote that in my keys. They're going to have to run the ball. But the problem is Breece Hall is still going to be on a pitch count. I don't know what that pitch count is going to be. Last week it was 11 touches, if you remember correctly. But
sure.
he did well on all 11 touches. Really, all of them were big plays. So I'm sure the Cowboys understand that. They're probably going to load like 8 or 9 in the box and force Zach Wilson to beat them. And I think that's what teams really did late last season. If you look at, the formula that the Patriots have used against Zach Wilson, who has had his number and really the Jets' number since he's gotten in the league, they really just load the box and force Zach Wilson to beat him. I expect the Cowboys defense to do quite the same there. And then really, look at the opposite end defensively. I think trying to get out the Dak Prescott and force him to make mistakes too. We obviously know, Dak and, his real chronicle interceptions from a year ago. Yeah, I think if you try to get some pressure on him, you just hope that he can make some mistakes and that can keep you in the game.
How frustrated is a guy like Garrett Wilson? I mean, he was supposed to break out, be the next bona fide stud, top 10 caliber receiver with Aaron Rodgers, and now he's back with Zach Wilson.
I think from his perspective, you look at it, he still won Offensive Rookie of the Year, despite the fact that he had 3 different quarterbacks starting last year. He had Joe Flacco, had Mike White, and Zach Wilson, and he still was able to be the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I think for his perspective, like he feels like he's going to shine no matter who's back there at the quarterback, and I don't blame him. Sure. It's just a matter of, I think people were expecting Garrett to be in that upper echelon receivers once, Aaron was there to go along with guys like Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams and, players like that. And it still might happen, but, I definitely think, it's going to be more emphasis, especially moving forward on the running game for the Jets.
Do you think they would try to say, heck, let's go for it and just put this ball up into Garrett Wilson's area 15 times? Or is that just a horrible idea considering how much pressure Zach's going to be under?
I think it's going to depend on just how the game is going. But, yeah, I think the offensive line is a real concern. It's been much maligned throughout the course of the preseason. And, it came to fruition, throughout Monday night. And I think it's going to be crazy just to sit there and say, let's just throw the ball to Garrett, 15 or 20 times in a game where you have a running game that had 172 yards rushing against a really good Bills defense. Now, I think the Cowboys pose a much different challenge. I think their run defense is much stouter than what Buffalo presents. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough challenge there. And now, the Cowboys actually planning for Zach Wilson as opposed to Buffalo was planning to play Aaron Rodgers, but instead got Zach Wilson.
Antwan, is there any update from the afternoon with Greg Zuerlein situation with the kicking? We heard it's a 50-50 whether he played. The Jets may be working guys out. Did you get some names, or are they going to go with Zuerlein this week?
I do have names. I don't know if they're known to like people just in general, but
sure.
Yeah, guys like Ty Long, Matthew Wright, Austin Sherbert were guys from Oklahoma who was worked out today. We'll see if, what happens tomorrow. That's really going to be the telltale sign of whether Garrett Zuerlein is able to play. If he's not able to play, then that also hurts their offense too, and about the points they can score. Because I know Zuerlein struggled down there with the Cowboys. He's been, close to automatic with the Jets too, and he's 3 for 3 against Buffalo, and that would be a real, that would really hurt their, chances to win this game, especially considering, the defense and, the way the offense is, lack of points the Jets offense has been able to generate, when Zach Wilson's been in there.
Antwan, thanks so much for the game preview. Do you believe Aaron Rodgers will be back next year?
Yes. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, he kind of said as much on the Pat McAfee show. Yeah, I have a hard time believing this is the way he's going to go out. I think he wants to, at least be back on the field with the Jets. Now what he looks like, I don't know. Especially he'll be 41 next year, but I think he's going to give it a go and at least try to get back out there on the field.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time in Texas.
All right, thank you, guys.